We've got not one, but two potential elimination games tonight in the NBA playoffs. The Rockets and the Lakers, both back home, both facing 3-1 series deficits. Let's break it down with a double gamer from WagerTalk.com. I'm Teddy Covers, and let's start with the late game of these two opinions. I've got a side play for the clients on Houston Golden State. I'm going to talk about the total in that game. So of the two breakdowns I'm going to give here, I think this is the stronger of the two. We talk about the Lakers and the T-Wolves tonight. Looking at my odds logic live odds screen, I'm seeing mostly 5.5s out there for the Lakers. Total sitting in the 210 range. There are some 209.5. There are some 210.5s out there. So some variance on the total. Sidewise, it's LA minus 5.5 / LA minus 6. Depending on where you bet. And of course, if you're betting the Lakers, you want to find a minus 5.5. If you're betting the T-Wolves, you want to find a +6. Both available right now. And those little half points, we've seen them matter already this postseason more than once. And I expect that will happen again before the postseason is through. So one of the advantages that bettors legitimately have over bookmakers are going to hang a number. Bettors can shop around to find the best of it. So if you like Minnesota, +6. If you like LA, minus 5.5. Looking at that odds logic live odds screen. By the way, if you guys want a free preview, free trial of the oddslogic.com live odds screen, just go to oddslogic.com / Teddy. You get 7 days free trial of our live odds service. I think it's a good product. And when you start to use it, it's difficult to say, all right, I don't want that anymore. Check it out. Again, oddslogic.com / Teddy. So Lakers and the T-Wolves. Here's a Minnesota team that's now 20-5 straight up since Julius Randle returned from his injury in early March. They've certainly been the better team in this series so far. The question is, for a game like this, mentality. Do the T-Wolves have that, we're going to close them out here now, fight to the finish, or do they, yeah, well, we can get game 6 back at home? In my mind, that's a crucial element, is trying to determine the mentality of the team on the road going for the closeout win. And while Minnesota has been excellent down the stretch and certainly been the better team in this series thus far, one thing we've seen from Chris Finch's squad is that inability to put their foot down on an opponent when they have a chance. And certainly with Randall playing as well as he is with Edwards and with the supporting cast for Minnesota, they're very live to win the series, obviously, as reflected in the series price here. But for the purposes of tonight's game, I do worry about Minnesota exhaling. That's kind of been their MO. And the one thing I don't want to do is bet against the Lakers back home, facing elimination against an opponent that has the potential to let their guard down a little bit tonight. So it's Lakers or pass for me in the late game on Wednesday night. Lakers minus the points would be my preferred selection for this one. And if you're worried about points, Lakers in the money line, it's pricey, but you don't have to worry about LA winning by a small margin. If they win, you'd cash your ticket there. So lean Lakers for the late game. Before I talk about the early game, I do want to let you know about what's going on right now at WagerTalk.com. And I want to ask you a little favor. First of all, if you like this type of content, give me a like. That's all I ask. Thank you. Appreciate the comments below. Let me know what you think about tonight's NBA action or anything else. If you like, we appreciate all the comments. Even if you disagree with me, I'm not mad. It's okay. You're allowed to have a different opinion. Of course, we've got 200,000 of you who have already subscribed to the Wager Talk YouTube channel. You get instant alerts when these videos go live. If you haven't done so, maybe you want to subscribe to the Wager Talk YouTube channel. I've got 3 plays up and available for Wednesday, 2 in MLB, 1 in the association. Get them all together. I think it's $29 on my page, wt.buzz / TC. And I got to tell you, the NBA players have been good to me in recent years. Lost last night. True story. But 83-57 in the NBA playoffs over the last 4 years, plus 70 units, hitting better than 60% in the NBA over the last 6 weeks. And of course, the baseball's been good as well. Just look at the streaks right now. I'm up 23 units over the last 4 weeks. I'm up 58 units since last June, 78 and 59. So check out my page, wt.buzz / TC, and get on board for my 3-pack MLB NBA for Wednesday. Of course, I always prefer the longer term packages. We got a great deal right now. Buy 2 weeks, get the third free. If you're interested, less than $10 a day, and I'll get you on board for the next 3 weeks, counting every play, every day, in every sport. All right, let's talk about the Warriors and the Rockets. And look, from a totals perspective, this series has shown us one thing very clearly. Ain't no pace between these two teams so far. Not even close. I'm going to play on the side for this game for the clients tonight. Right now, I'm seeing mostly 4s out there for Houston. There are a couple of Rockets minus 4.5 as they look to stave off elimination. Total in this game sitting at 204. 204. That's certainly lower than what we saw at the start of this series. And last game went over the total. Of course, went over the total for the first one of the series that actually cashed an over bet between Houston and Golden State. I'm not going to say it flew over the total, but it got there. Of course, that had a lot to do with Houston shooting. They shot very well in that game. They shot well from three-point range in that game. And, of course, Golden State was, 20 of 22 from the free throw line. So even though the Rockets lost, they shot probably a little bit better than I expected them to shoot tonight. Van Fleet draining 3 after 3 in that contest. Seguin had a huge game. We look at the Golden State side of the equation. What's the strength for Houston? Houston's strength is their defense, their rebounding. At times in this series, the Warriors have had a really hard time freeing up anybody. Curry, Butler, doesn't matter. They've gone through extended stretches. If you watch the first half the other night when they won the 22 points through the first, 6 minutes of the second quarter, Golden State has had their issues offensively against Houston in this series. I don't think that changes here. I mean, the Warriors' mentality is defense, and I expect to see that tonight. So I don't expect to see a whole lot of pace. I don't expect to see a whole lot of offensive execution that is exceptional for either team. And you put those two factors together for the total for this one, I'll go under 204 for the Rockets and the Warriors. There you have it, guys. Appreciate those likes, appreciate those follows, appreciate those comments very, very much. Visit the webpage, www.buzz.com/TC, and have yourself a great betting Wednesday. Thanks for watching WagerTalk TV, and good luck with all your bets tonight. Cheers.